With the emergence of the new 2019 nCoV coronavirus, even the best medical professionals do not have a full understanding of how the virus actually works, or where it came from, or how to even neutralize it. However, certain conclusions involving the virus directly have been reached, as well as the information indirectly related to the virus has emerged. But what are the facts, and what are the myths and the lies? Let's find out. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to FAD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and I have 10 surprising lies about the coronavirus, which should help separate the fake news from the facts. So let's just jump right into it. Starting at number 10, the virus came from bat soup. Genetic testing has suggested that the virus, similar to SARS, jumped to humans from bats. And also some say snakes, according to one study. But there was a new video going viral online, no pun intended, of a woman who supposedly is eating bat soup in Wuhan, where the coronavirus outbreak began. Now, news began to spread that this video was at the source of the new coronavirus outbreak. However, critics did note that this video couldn't be legitimate because Wuhan, China is experiencing cold weather right now, yet the woman in the video is wearing summer clothing. So it's confirmed now that the video was filmed 4 years ago in the island country of Palau. Next up at number 9, the surgical masks actually protect you. Well, face masks have become very common in mainland China and Hong Kong, and you'll even see people wearing them in many different parts of the world. Now, these surgical masks may prevent the person wearing them from spreading the disease via droplets from the nose or the mouth if they sneeze or they cough, but they're not airtight, which means that there is still a whole lot of risk for contracting the virus. Medical experts, including the World Health Organization, have recommended other measures such as washing your hands often, covering your mouth when coughing and sneezing, and avoiding consumptions of raw or uncooked animal products. And by the way, when you sneeze and cough, they say cough in your arm, not in your hand, because you touch things. But when you're up here, you're not really touching anything with your arm. Just a little side note, I started adopting that practice a while ago, and it's really helped. At number 8, this is a snake flu. A study by Chinese researchers published in the Journal of Medical Virology concluded that the virus probably jumped from humans from a local snake species, including the Chinese krait and the Chinese cobra. But this theory has been discredited by other virologists who argue that those speculations were based on a DNA analysis of virus samples, and there remained what they call an evidence gap between snakes as the host of the virus and it spreading to humans. Also, bleach can cure this thing. Well, there's a bleach solution known as Miracle Mineral Solution, and it has been selling as a cure for the 2019 nCoV. Jordan Sather, the guy who claimed that the virus was patented in 2015, told followers to use this. Now, Jordan Sather pointed out back in 2005, a study showed that the SARS virus could actually be killed by the key ingredient found in this Miracle Mineral Solution, or MMS for short, chlorine dioxide. That is the main ingredient, but he didn't mention that that study only looked at its effects outside of the body, not inside of the body. And also the 2019 nCoV, this coronavirus, it's not the same as SARS. So even treatment measures aren't going to be the same. Another big myth that places like airports are actually believing is that fever checks are actually 100% accurate. It's been confirmed that infected patients may not always show symptoms of pneumonia-like illnesses, but still can be contagious during an incubation period that can last up to 14 days, they say. According to David, who's an epidemiologist in the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, he says that checking people for fevers at the borders is not 100% effective because people can easily pass temperature screenings when no symptoms show up. Like, there was one woman last week from Wuhan who had a mild fever symptom, and she got past airport screeners in the country of France because she took some medicine that brought her temperature down. Now, the virus has prompted a number of airports all around the world to introduce next level screening processes as well as disinfection measures for travelers from Wuhan and China. Which is a great thing, because if you want to control this virus and stop it from spreading, you cannot just base it off of somebody's temperature. Halfway in at number 5, Indian medicine is the cure. Well, the government of India's Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Soa, Rigpa, and Homeopathy, or AYUSH for short, released an advisory that detailed methods of prevention of getting the coronavirus. Now, the prevention methods that they released listed some good practices for hygiene during a viral epidemic, but also they cite homeopathy and symptomatic management of a coronavirus infection using Unani medicine. Now, they said this when experts around the world have said that there is actually no cure or vaccination which has been invented for this infection yet. And there also isn't any solid concrete evidence to back the prescribed medicine or diet for the coronavirus just yet. So it really is way too soon for anyone to claim that there is a cure for this thing. There's also a myth and a lie about noodles, fortune cookies, and Red Bull. What am I talking about? Okay, so let me share. So there's a social media post that claimed that the virus can be caught by eating food popular in the Chinese community. The post claimed that the virus was starting to spread in the Greater Sydney, Australia region, and products such as rice, noodles, iced tea, Red Bull, onion rings, and Wagyu beef were infected with the coronavirus. Now, the post cited a fake Bureau of Diseaseology Parramatta that doesn't even exist. And they claimed ear tests showed that the virus was circulating at train stations. But medical professionals say that nothing in this post is even true at all. And none of the items mentioned in the post were recalled in Australia anyways. Down to number 3, this is a huge one. The Chinese government is building mass graves. Well, it turns out that they're actually building 2 large hospitals just to deal with the crisis that this virus is causing. Now, images show that there's a site that's being dug up, of course, because you got to build a foundation if you want to build a building. But people are saying that these are actually graves in preparation for thousands of people to lose their life. China, however, is rushing to build 2 new hospitals that will treat thousands of coronavirus patients. So there's a lot of misinformation around there. And if it sounds a slight bit believable, it's so easy to run with. Number 2, the virus was patented in 2015. Many have claimed that the 2019 nCoV was engineered in a lab and suggest that a UK research institution called Purebright, funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, is behind this whole thing. Now, the institute responded in a post that said that not only does it have nothing to do with studying human coronavirus strains, but the patent that was referred to by those who believe that it was manufactured is in relation to a vaccine that they're working on to prevent respiratory diseases in birds and other animals, and it was not actually funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And finally, the number 1 myth and lie that's spreading about this is that this is biological warfare. So yeah, let's talk about that. There's rumors that have been circulating that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was secretly developing a biological weapon for the military. Now, it's important to know that no health agency is even backing these claims. And there's another theory that circulates that claims that 2 Chinese scientists who were fired from a Canadian lab last year were actually spies and smuggled the virus out of Canada. The Public Health Agency of Canada has labeled this as a straight up lie, and the virus, they say, most likely originated from an unhygienic market. Alright guys, so that was a look at 10 surprising myths, lies, and fake news about the coronavirus. I hope that sheds some more light on the coronavirus outbreak. And guys, let's just remember that regardless of our own personal feelings and perspectives, there are real people that are suffering and losing their lives due to this virus, among many other things. So sometimes far more good comes out of showing compassion and empathy, especially in times of crisis. Now, before I head on out, I'm going to be responding to some of your comments. This is a new segment that we're introducing where we can just share some feedback, offer some clarification, and just, respond to what you guys had to say. And in this episode, I'm responding to our video called 10 Surprising Facts About the Coronavirus. Alright, so let's take a look at some of your comments. First one comes from Wolf Call of Duty Mobile. And you said, risk of World War III, the coronavirus, many stars have died, for example, Kobe Bryant. 2020 is gonna be hell. Yeah, definitely a hell of a start to a year. Let's see how it goes from here. Let's just cross our fingers and hope that February just sheds some, some positivity, like next level, into the world. Now, second comment comes from Stevie Gorman, and he says flights should have been stopped out of China day 1. And that is kind of tricky to do, and I definitely agree with you. However, to actually try to coordinate that with scheduled flights and them not even clear that this is a viral outbreak yet from day one, is kind of hard to say that China should have stopped all flights. And even if they did stop all flights from day one, what happens to the people on the flights that have already taken off anyways before that was even implemented? I'm sure no matter what they tried to do, there would have been some way that this leaked through the cracks, because to pinpoint a viral threat like immediately, it's next to impossible. Alright, now let's see what the Secret Gamer had to say. Not to be racist, but others, beef, fish, chicken, etc. China, we love exotic foods. Me, well, you discovered an exotic virus with no vaccine. And that's definitely, I gotta talk about this. There's a whole lot of chatter about, what the Chinese eat. They have some very unique food choices, like I'll definitely admit that. And I'm sure people from China will admit that as well. Yeah, it is unfortunate that, a lot of these viruses, they're found in animals, and eating the animal puts you at risk of contracting what is in that animal, like even anything that you eat, to be honest. But I just really hope that this doesn't turn into any hate towards people of Chinese descent or the people of China. Like I said before we started these comment responses, maybe it's time to show a little bit of sympathy. I think that'll go a long way. Alright guys, so that's it for this episode. Thanks for joining me here on FTD Facts. Before you head on out, I'm going to leave you with a related video. Alright guys, it's been great chatting with you. I'll see you guys next time.